Tucked back just off the highway in Milledgeville, Georgia, lies Andalusia, the former home of American author Flannery O'Connor. Flannery was a short story writer and essayist famous for her Southern Gothic tales heavily laced with themes of violence, Catholicism, and morality. Come along as we take you on a tour through her life, her career, and of course, her historic home. Mary Flannery O'Connor was born on March 25, 1925, in Savannah, Georgia, into a prominent Irish Catholic family. A few years after her father Edward was diagnosed with lupus, the family moved from Savannah to Milledgeville in 1940. Sadly, Edward passed away the following year, and Flannery and her mother remained in Milledgeville. It was here that Flannery graduated from Georgia State College for Women, known now as Georgia College and State University, with degrees in sociology and English literature. In 1945, she was accepted into the prestigious Iowa Writers' Workshop at the University of Iowa. She earned her MFA there in 1947, and in 1948, she headed north to join Yaddo, an artist community in Saratoga Springs, New York. From there, she spent some time living in Ridgefield, Connecticut with Robert Fitzgerald, a well-known translator of the classics, and his wife, before returning to Georgia in 1951 following a lupus diagnosis of her own. Flannery and her mother Regina, now her caretaker, took up residence at Andalusia, a farm and home in the area where Regina was raised. During the 13 years Flannery lived at Andalusia, she completed the bulk of her literary work as the farm's environment influenced the setting of many of her writings. Following her death in 1964, the farm remained in the family until 2003, when it was given to a private foundation for use as a museum. In August 2017, the site was gifted to O'Connor's alma mater, Georgia College, and in 2022, it was designated as a National Historic Landmark by the National Park Service. In March of this year, 2023, the Andalusia Interpretive Center was opened, which features information and artifacts not only of the O'Connors, but of the property throughout its extensive history as well. Before we continue on to a tour of the property, I think it is important to acknowledge that O'Connor, while an undoubtedly gifted creative, was also a woman who held inexcusable racist beliefs and made numerous quips and comments to that effect that have been largely minimized in the time since her passing. As one journalist wrote regarding her remarks, "To diminish their sting is to diminish the reality of racism in our society. To promote the person who wrote them as the perfect writer for our moment is to fail to take either the remarks or the moment seriously." A link to this article and others regarding this topic can be found in the description of this video below. Now, onto a tour of the home at Andalusia. We will begin our tour by noting that around 90% of the home is original, including the furniture. After entering the home through Regina's former bedroom, you will first arrive in what was her office, the room from which she single-handedly ran the farm, managed the household, and cared for Flannery. From there, you will enter the kitchen, which has been preserved to nearly 100% of its original state. Fun fact, the fridge was purchased by Flannery for her mother after selling the movie rights to her short story, The Life You Save May Be Your Own. Next up is a part of the newer portion of the home built in 1958 for Regina's brother Louis, who co-owned the property and wanted a place to stay when he came to visit. The first room shown is his bedroom, and the next is the sitting room where Flannery would conduct Bible studies and readings. It's adorned with two Eastlake bookcases from 1870, which previously belonged to Flannery's cousin Katie. Next, we enter the formal dining room, which was part of the original 1850s structure and contains a prominent Eastlake buffet whose origins are unknown, as it came with the property when it was purchased in 1931 by Regina's other brother, Dr. Bernard Klein. Lastly, we enter Flannery's bedroom. This was once the front parlor of the home, but was converted into her bedroom for accessibility purposes. Flannery would write for 3 hours a day here at her desk, a habit she picked up from her time in New York. Also on the property, in addition to several other buildings, are two of Flannery's most favorite birds, peacocks, and a home known as Hill House. Hill House was the most prominent of the workers' houses on the O'Connor's property and was also the original home on the property. It was built by Joseph Stovall in the mid to late 1820s. Flannery lived in this home for 13 years before passing away in August of 1964 at the age of 39. We hope you enjoyed this brief tour of Flannery O'Connor's home at Andalusia and get a chance to see it yourself if you find yourself in Milledgeville. Thanks for watching!